How do I get a hold of you?
You just contact the mayor's office. He has a special signal that shines in the sky. It's in the shape of a giant cock.
All right, it's Seattle Radio Network's last call as we move into the last hour of tonight's show. Thanks for checking things out. Thanks for being a part of it. It's hilarious. Dawn is Strip. Put the headphones on just for a second. Dawn has been a part of this show for about how long? 3 months, give or take? Yeah? It's the first time she's ever listened to the last call intro.
Really?
She heard the last call intro and giggled her ass off because she'd never heard it before.
No, I never get my headphones on at
Do
time.
you pay attention when you're here?
I usually go pee, and then by the time I get my headphones on, it's good to go.
Hey, thanks to Phil Cook for joining us during the last half hour of the
That was
segment.
very nice of him to call in.
Sarah
I'm
Whitney, I
feeling
believe,
nervous.
is still here. I don't think she
She is.
hasn't left yet. I think she's stretching.
She's out being a badass.
I'm feeling
know-
nervous.
You should be.
I'm
4
on
hour show
camera.
is hard for some people to handle, just not moving. Me, I'm good at being sedimentary.
Oh,
So-
I'm not going. Oh, that's too easy.
As you can tell,
We're joined by the little black guy.
St. Paul is left.
Wait. Let me. I got to get up high.
Good job.
I had to raise my chair. Hold on.
You kind of look like the out of touch Oompa Loompa sitting next to him. You know.
Wow.
Did you just bust out of touch? Oompa Loompa?
Wow.
I did.
Really?
Because he knows
Wow.
I'm screwing with him.
Well, no, baby, you ain't never screwed with me, but
No.
I haven't
have
known an
fucked-
out of touch Oompa
You,
Loompa
you
since
ain't
my
never
last
screwed
series.
with me, but you have fucked with me.
I haven't known an out of touch Oompa Loompa since my last serious long term relationship.
That was a long time ago.
I got something in my throat. Churro, talk for a second. Give a plug for where you work so we can get that out of the way before we get into the show.
Are you
Go ahead.
serious?
Go for it.
Get the plug out of the way now.
Serious? Advantage Auto Works, Advantage Nissan. Come see me. We got the best deals in town, best rates in town. $4,500 off. You hear that, Don? $4,500 off right
man.
now on a brand new Nissan Altima.
So
Answer.
you're saying I need to bring the new car in and trade it in already? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying that at all.
Hold on. Answer a question for me.
What?
Because I'll speak for the listening public when they're out there. When they hear you say $4,500 off a new car.
Yep.
And the first thing we think is, and I'm just being honest with you, I want you to
I
address
know
this,
exactly what they're thinking.
is that, well, they must have jacked it up $4,500 so they could lower it by $4,500. The sticker is $4,500 more than it normally would be. So how do you respond to that? Because you know people
How
are
do I
thinking
respond
that.
to this? Is this: we are a full disclosure dealership.
Okay.
It's not $4,500 off a second price sticker that's sitting on the side saying it's $4,500 off the second sticker, not the actual MSRP or the invoice. No, we are giving you. If you are military, understand you already qualify for the military programs. So military is usually $500 above invoice, which is usually only $500 more than what the dealership pays for it. You get $4,500 off of that price. So let's just do some mathematics.
it's less than what the dealership is paying for it?
It's actually less than what the dealership pays for. Because what people don't understand when you're selling new cars, new cars is not really a matter of how much gross of one can. The dealership is going to get a kickback from the actual manufacturer itself. So let's say if we sell X amount of cars, and let's just say if we sell 60 cars this month, okay, 60 brand new cars. For selling 60 brand new cars, the manufacturer themselves is
So
gonna send
Nissan
the
will then
dealership-
send the
will
dealership
send
a bonus.
dealership a bonus.
Okay.
That absolutely has nothing to do with the price that we sell the car.
So you guys literally could sell the car for $1, and you would still, if you sold 60 of them, you'd
Yeah.
get now. The bonus is probably
right,
The
technically
bonus isn't
speaking,
going to be
yes.
enough to cover your cost
Right,
for the
no,
cost
no,
of the vehicle
right,
and
right.
staff and all that. But I'm
Right,
just saying,
right.
if you sold 60 cars for $1 a piece, you would qualify
We
for whatever
qualify
that
for
bonus
whatever that
is from the
bonus is.
manufacturer.
Absolutely. It
All right.
absolutely has. In some aspects, it absolutely has nothing to do with how much money we're able to maintain. Now, with that being said, I am the first one to say, hey, when you come in to see me, you got to understand, I do work on commission. We do have to maintain some profitability. Otherwise, there's no need of going to work.
There's no use for you to be
There's
there.
no need for me to be there. I do get a little disturbed sometime. I had a gentleman come in today. Literally had a guy come in today, see a car marked for $6,000. And oh, by the way, we all carry smartphones today, and we all got this Kelley Blue Book app on our phone.
Right.
So we all sit there and we do the exact same thing. The price that you're looking at is the same price that I see. There's no markup. As a matter of fact, when people pull up their apps on the phone and try to compare what we're selling our cars for, 9 times out of 10 they find that we're usually anywhere between $500 to $1,000 less than what the KBB marketplace says it is.
All right, so check out Tro. Advantage Auto Works, Advantage Nissan on Bremerton's Auto Row. Stop up there, ask for Jeremy, and he will.
Or you can even say Trojo. I can. They know me there by Trojo from the Outlaw Radio Network. By all means, come see me.
Okay, are you done so we can get into the questionable topics?
Almost, because again, since you just brought it up, on a side note to that, for those who are wondering, and I know no one really looks this up, but when you do your research and Google dealerships in the area, I am proud to say that if you go to GoogleRating.com, DealerRater.com, Edmunds.com, Advantage Nissan, Advantage Auto Works, we won the reward for being the #1 rated dealership in not just Kitsap County but the entire state of Washington.
There you go.
So
okay, Advantage Auto Works, Advantage Nissan, Bremerton's Auto Row. All right, so are you done with the plug?
I'm
So
done.
we'll
That's
draw
the
a
plug.
line
Yeah.
here. We'll draw a line
Wait till you
here
hear this segue.
because we don't want to confuse the message about a fine business and what happens on the rest of this last hour.
Right.
I will remind you, though, now that the line has been drawn, there is nothing like felching in the backseat of a Nissan. All right. So, do you know what felching is, Sarah?
Yes.
You do?
Gross.
Okay.
finally, someone else who knows what it is.
You don't know what felching is?
Right?
Check it out
An
online.
18-year-old told him.
Yeah, I'd never heard of felching before. Now every time I go to the store and buy straws, I'm like, felching. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so let's get
Oh,
into this.
wait.
Yes.
Wait. We have to touch
Dawn
on
Marie.
this because we have not touched
really,
on
really
it.
quickly. Hold on. K-Dog the Loose Cannon, Trojo, Dawn Marie, and we're still joined by. Do we want to give your full name for this segment, or do you just want to just go by
why not?
Sarah? All right, Sarah Whitney, badass attorney at law, joins us in
Right.
studio. Do you do divorces? By the way,
I do mostly family law and criminal law. I have a few other little stuff, but
man.
I
I had
do
somebody just
family law
asked me
and
to ask you
criminal law.
online if you do divorces. So
I do.
I'll let him know. All right. So go ahead, Dawn Marie.
Questions for you.
All right. So here's the thing. We have to discuss it. We have not discussed it since it happened.
Oh, here we go.
Kevin went to a soccer game. He went to a Sounders game.
I did.
And he had a blast.
I
It
did.
was an excellent time based on everything that I saw. I was supposed to go, actually.
Yes.
But I had we were the victims of Horseshoe Lake last weekend, and it kept me home. And so I was really disappointed that I didn't get to go and go along the way and like do a video diary of this.
You should've.
Kudos to Michael for getting you there and the rest of the gang because I enjoyed thoroughly watching and then thoroughly enjoyed your final, what would you say? Like, it was almost like a little blog post.
My
on
write-up,
what you-
yeah.
On your write-up on it because I thought it was you had a very good open mind with it. And we're very honest about it. So kudos to you because
Wait, I
it
didn't
was,
even get to read it. I haven't. What did I
It
miss?
was
on my
such
page.
a kick-ass
jeez.
game. First off,
It was a good close
it was a
game.
great game.
Let's hold on. So let me briefly summarize the events of the day. So this was last Sunday, the 13th, the final day of the World Cup,
Yep.
and
was Dawn's
the
happy
Sounders
day.
Sounders taking on the Portland Timber. Which,
Timbers.
by the way, I have
Port
a song.
scum.
Oh, God,
I have a
what
song etched in my head from that.
scum.
One of the many songs.
I can't wait to hear it.
So when you go to the Sounders, so what happens is they rally in Occidental Park
Yes.
in Pioneer Square. Now this day was
The
even
march.
This day was even worse. Not worse bad, but worse as far as the numbers, because they had a 20 by 20 big screen in Occidental Park to watch the final
World
the
Cup.
final match of the World Cup. So
Argentina and
people
Germany.
went for the final match of the World Cup. They drank all day.
Yes, they
and then they
did.
prepared to march from Occidental before the Sounders game. Now, the Sounders game was moved from 7 to 7:30, which pissed a whole bunch of people
Pissed
off.
me off.
They were not happy.
I even put it
'cause
on there.
They were ready to rally, and they had to wait a half hour.
And that was because of ESPN's coverage.
Yeah.
For the World Cup. I
So-
was sitting there trying to figure out why the hell is the game not on? Wait a second.
Yeah. So I got to Occidental after we stopped at a Pho or Pho
Pho.
or
Pho.
Pho.
It's pho.
Pho. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pho restaurant. Mikey Malone took me to a Pho restaurant. The short ribs were really good. So we went to Occidental. There was probably, I estimate casually at 10, there could have been as many as 15,000 people there. They were all wall-to-wall people in Occidental. If you get a chance, Tro, go look at my Facebook page, look at the pictures. It was nuts. There were beer gardens in some of the bars that were around there that were packed.
Would it be nice if you just could have went through the crowd and said, "May I borrow $1?"
It was, I mean, it was totally, it was, as I've said before, it was the closest thing to anarchy that I've ever seen. There were signs, there was chanting. The one song that stands out of my brain that is etched in my memory is "Build a bonfire, build a bonfire,
yeah.
put the timbers on the top, put the white caps in the middle, and we'll burn the fucking lot." So, but they're chanting this thing as they're waiting, and then we start the rally. Seattle PD closes the streets between Occidental and the Clink, and this mass of humanity marches from Occidental to the Clink, letting off smoke bombs. There's
Oh.
black, green, and blue smoke bombs getting let off. Everybody's singing and chanting. There was one poor idiot in a Timbers shirt with his girlfriend, and they gave him a hard time the entire way down. Nobody was mean. Nobody was violent. It wasn't like that at all. But there were a lot of middle fingers and a lot of good ribbing. As I said in my post, I would go again just for the experience of the march and the rally. That was amazing to me. Now, the game itself was closer to what I expected. The first half was really slow. There was really no offensive kind of threats from either team in the first half. The second half was better. There was a lot more pressure put on, especially by the Sounders.
Very aggressive in the second
Yeah,
half.
they were very. It was a very different.
aggressive.
And again, I don't know soccer. I don't know terms. I don't know anything. But I got the impression the style of play was changed at the halftime to really put pressure on Portland's goalie. They did. They scored 2 goals. I got a really wicked pick of one of the goals. The crowd was phenomenal. I was in the north end zone. In the south end zone, I think that's where all the season ticket peeps
That's
are.
where all the crazy fuckers are.
Yes, because for an hour and 45 minutes, okay, they did not sit down.
Nope.
They were on their feet. They were bouncing. They were jumping. They were singing. They were screaming. They didn't stop one time.
When you sit in that end, just so you know, it's specifically you don't plan on watching the game because a couple of things are going to happen. They're going to sing, they're going to jump, they're going to beat a damn drum. They're going to have 2 crazy people that switch, between the posts that you stand on up there to rally the crowd.
Yep.
And then they're going to wave flags, and you're not going to see a damn thing anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they
I
were
sat
crazy.
up there a couple times. Actually, I like watching that energy and I like being right there.
And the Timbers, to their credit, they were on the 300 level towards the north end
corner.
of the bleachers in the corner, and they were pretty active the whole time too. So they had a good following. But I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of sporting events in my life, and I've been to a good share of Seahawk games, Mariner games. Never made it to a Sonic game, but whatever. This takes the cake as far as the atmosphere and the fans and the crowd and the involvement. And if you go to a Seahawk game, you're probably going to find 15% of the people there for the other team. If you go to a Mariner game, you're probably going to find 20-25% of there for the other team. You go to this thing, of the 64,000 people that packed the Clink, I would gamble that 62.5 were there for the Sounders.
And they segregate them. And it happens in Portland as well. They segregate the fans for the teams, and stick baby in a corner essentially because that's what happens. It
That's
happened
really
down
funny.
there because
That was the analogy I used with Stephen Gardner.
yeah,
Disney show there.
because when I went to a Portland game last year in Portland, let me tell you, they're not nice. The second you pull into town
Sure.
with a Sounder sticker on your car, they're calling you names. We actually had security walk my boyfriend and I to the stadium and into the stadium while a 65 plus, I don't know, he was pretty old. He was an older guy, with green and white hair that he had spray painted with his grandchild, dropping F-bombs at me, calling me a fucking traitor and all this other stuff. I mean, just really going at me in line. They're very aggressive. And I would hope that our fans treat the Port Scum people better when they come.
They don't.
And I would hope.
They were okay.
They don't.
There was a
They
guy.
don't.
There was a guy in front of me in the march. Like I said, he was there with his
maybe
girlfriend.
give him a hard time, but not.
They gave him a lot of middle fingers.
Yeah,
But there was a lot of laughing. The guy didn't appear threatened. He was just kind of laughing back with it. And,
he didn't need security.
No.
I mean, and all we're doing is walking in the street, and there's no march or anything in Portland. Now, I will say, you came back and you got to go to this. You came to this game, and you went at a time that, number one, not only were we playing Portland, but number two, we're on the heels of the World Cup, the World Cup, and Clint Dempsey.
That's a whole different subject right
Clint
there.
Dempsey and DeAndre Yedlin's return from the U.S. men's national team, where Yedlin is coming back off of a phenomenal showing down there as a young rookie, and then of course Dempsey. Just being a badass, kind of like our attorney at law over here.
That's right.
And you're coming back with that, and all of that combined with the Timbers game is a lot of energy. This is a big cup. It's a huge rivalry. It's a Cascadia Cup game, so it's a really big deal considering the last game that we played against Whitecaps, we lost, which was unfortunate, and we lost up there, on their home turf. But I got to tell you, I was impressed. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad you really took the experience in, because I saw the picture of you with your camera. You had the scarf and the hat and stuff going on.
Oh, yeah.
And really took it in, because it really is something. We're a special breed.
It's a very interesting.
soccer.
And as I said before, I would go again.
Yeah.
I don't. Some fans of sports say like, "Well, I would go to the game, but I'd never watch it on TV." That's kind of how I am with soccer.
That's what I feel about baseball.
Yeah, and so I'm the exact opposite. I would baseball anytime.
Yeah.
But I'm that's how I'm with soccer. I would go to another game. I would go for the experience and the crowd and the atmosphere. And I don't see myself ever becoming a soccer fan. But I'm not opposed to it. I would go to another game. Now I will tell you, this did make me a Sounders fan very much after today. I don't know. Have you heard this story?
This is an excellent story. This is referring to the
So-
game last night against
Yeah.
Tottenham.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying is, now that you've actually been to a soccer game and seen a soccer game and been a part of what soccer life is about, it's not quite as much as abolish soccer as is.
You even said that.
I did.
You
I did.
even
I said I would let go of the abolished
did.
soccer for a while.
You would let it go.
But this story makes me really proud of a team in our backyard. It makes me actually kind of like soccer a little bit.
I very much
I'm going to
appreciate
read this to you. This is off of Yahoo Sports. If you can go to ESPN.com and read the focus story that ESPN did, it's probably a little better. It got some clips. But I'll read this verbatim off of Yahoo Sports. The Seattle Sounders and the Make-A-Wish Foundation teamed up to make the MLS's club match against Tottenham on Saturday far more than your average summer friendly. A friendly is an exhibition. Okay. Earlier in the week, Seattle signed Xander Bailey, an 18-year-old from West Virginia with cystic fibrosis. He joined the club's training sessions on Friday, and then they put him in the starting lineup for the match yesterday. Now, again, it's a friendly, so it's an exhibition. It doesn't count in the standings. It just really is for fun. 55,000 people in the stands at CenturyLink for the game yesterday. They take this kid with cystic fibrosis. They bring him into the stadium. They sign him to a contract. He doesn't get anything out of it, really, other than the experience. They give him a jersey, and they put him out on the field to start. They let him kick the ball down, and he I won't even say half-assed because it wasn't even halfway. He nonchalantly kind of kicks the ball towards the goal for the first shot on goal, and then they swap him out.
And it was very cool because it wasn't just like it was just a friendly. This was actually an international friendly, so it was a big deal. You had Tottenham Hotspurs here. They brought this kid in, and if you had seen the interview, I got to tell you, there, you see stuff, and with kids it's so different, but it actually just brings a tear to your eye when you watch the interview and how touched this young man was and how grateful he was to be there. Impressed by the Sounders organization and the MLS and Make-A-Wish Foundation for putting it all together, and really showing some class. Ziggy Schmid, sitting there. They got great photos of him signing the contract with the kid. Also, Deuce Clint Dempsey, number 2. Took some really cool selfies, and it was very, very touching. And I think that we're that way with all sports here in Seattle. But I'm very proud as a huge soccer fan to kudos to the Sounders.
Well, and he also had a locker right next to Dempsey in the locker room. Dempsey he's a big fan of Dempsey. And the crowd got into it. So normally with these things, I wonder,
signs and everything.
Yeah, does the crowd get into it? Does the crowd really embrace it? And in this case, not only did they embrace it, they had signs with his face on
likeness,
them.
yeah.
They were touting the number 45, which is the jersey they gave him.
Yeah.
This is a kid with a one-time event in his life.
Yeah.
Now, I will segue this in a minute to why I hate these things, these type of events. But I will say that when you do something like this and the city comes behind it, it's a pretty cool, cool scenario.
Yeah.
There's a story, and if you get a chance, I would go to WWE.com and watch it. You'll probably find it on YouTube. YouTube are easier than navigating the WWE's website. There was a kid, whose name I want to get his name. Give me a second.
I'm really glad you brought that story up because it was actually a good one. Do you watch soccer at all, Sarah?
I do.
Do you really?
I love soccer.
Oh my God, you and I are gonna have so much fun together. We're gonna have to go have a drink.
Connor,
I've always loved soccer, and when I discovered that they were showing Sounders games,
Yeah.
I was so excited.
Have you been to one?
I have not been to one. I
Oh
have
my God,
always
I'm gonna have to
wanted
pop your
go,
cherry.
But I'm just I've just been so busy, and I keep forgetting. And
Oh.
but I've always wanted to go to a Sounders game. I love going to sporting events. I don't like basketball. I'm like going to watch basketball. I'm not a fan. But football games, baseball games, I love going to the events. I'm one of the fans where I'll watch an occasional football game, I'll watch an occasional basketball game or baseball game on TV, but I prefer going to the events because the energy of the crowd is better than watching it on TV. Although, but soccer I'll watch on TV. I
I'm so happy to hear that.
I gotta say, baseball is one of the most boring sports to watch on TV.
I agree.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
see,
baseball.
and I hear that from a
golf.
lot of people.
I
I'll be
agree.
honest with you and tell you, I love baseball, and I know that most people can't take it watching it on TV. I get it. I love baseball, and it's probably because the very first radio station I worked at, I was doing board op for Seattle Mariner games for a satellite station in Anacortes, so I sat through 162 games for 2 straight seasons.
It's not that they're bad to watch on TV. They're so long.
Yeah, it's
Right.
really you're really just
yeah,
so
and again,
slow. It's
because
so
I had to
slow.
sit through so many games, I became really connected to what was going on and
Don't
what
get-
the moves meant and the lefty righty and all of that stuff.
Don't get
and
me
then it
wrong.
started to make sense to me a little bit more. I think the casual fan though it is too long.
If I'm listening to it on the radio, I could do it because I'm going to do something else while I'm listening to the game.
Sure.
But
I can't sit and watch it on TV.
Yes,
It's just,
I'll
I
tune-
used to.
I'll turn it on and I'll check the score and then I'll
Right.
flip off and go watch something else. I can't.
I used to play baseball. I used to be real active in it, and when I was really active in it, and I could sit and watch it all the time. Used to love sitting watching baseball with my dad because he was my dad was actually a part of the played for the Negro Baseball Association when before.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. So right about the same time Jackie Robinson was in before he went out. So
Very cool.
so yeah, that I'm proud of. So I used to sit and watch it a lot, but man,
it is really hard to watch.
it's to try to watch one from start to finish is like. Now from there, I'm all over it. The energy is a little bit better.
So
I do watch the series.
Let me tell you about this really quick. There's a kid named Connor McCalick who was dealing with brain cancer, and he had already had a Make-A-Wish. And they started a Facebook page to try to get him backstage.
Can I get that Make a Wish? Is
No, you can't. You're not a
I'm
kid.
too old
You're
for
not
that.
You're not a
that
kid. You're
special.
not a kid. So he had already had a Make-A-Wish, but he's a huge WWE fan. So they started a Facebook campaign or whatever you want to call it, try to get him backstage. When WWE heard the story about him and his story, that this kid, I think he was 6, I think, give or take. They went ahead and they brought him backstage before Raw, which is the big Monday night show that wrestling does. They let him meet everybody. He was a big fan of Daniel Bryan.
He was the one that got the pin.
Well, yeah. So let me lay this
Oh, I'm
out. So
sorry.
before Raw went on the air, Daniel Bryan brought him down to the ring. They came out to Daniel Bryan's music. Daniel Bryan's kind of theme is to chant yes, yes, yes. So him and this little kid walk down the aisle and they do it. And then a couple other a whole bunch of wrestlers come down and surround the ring. And they're clapping for him. Triple H comes down. He's the heel.
I love Triple H.
And Triple H, kind of bends down in Connor's face and tells him to hit him. And Connor doesn't want to hit him. And Triple H goads him until eventually Connor hits him, and they let Connor cover him for the pin. And it was a very cool moment, and it was probably one of the last cool moments in his life because the kid passed away about 2 months later. There's another one. If you get a chance, go on. I won't even explain this other than to say go to online and look for Nebraska football. There was a kid that was going through, I think, brain cancer.
Yeah.
Yep.
They brought him out for spring scrimmage.
Little guy.
And he lined up behind the quarterback on 4th and whatever. They hand him to the ball. Both the teams fake blocked for him, let him run it back for a touchdown. And the coach made sure that nobody had more yards that day than that little kid did. Jack Hoffman, I think, was his name. And it was very cool because at the end they all converged in the end zone. They lifted him up on their shoulders. They were swatting his helmet. It's very cool. Now, I will say this. I think all of these are a really bad idea. Because if you listen to the parents of these kids, what they talk about is they want their kids to be like every other kid, right? We want our kids to be treated like every other kid. We want our kids to be the same. We want our kids to have the same opportunities. These are not same opportunities.
Yeah, but come on now.
No, these are not same opportunities.
What?
Average kids aren't being pulled in from the
hold on.
stands for the opportunity to meet their
kids,
favorites.
But these kids,
These
the
kids
reason
are
why it's a
terminal,
Make-A-Wish
bro.
Foundation is because this is like their one last
No,
opportunity
I'm totally fine with that.
to actually
I'm
get
totally
something
fine
done.
that.
So-
but quit
they-
saying that you don't want your kids to be treated like they're special. Quit
Well,
saying that you
no.
want your kids to be treated exactly the same. You don't want that. You want your kids to be treated special.
Well, in cases like
Own
this,
it.
K-Dog, in cases like this
The
where
kids
these
are
kids
dying.
are terminal and you know they're
Yeah.
going to be dead within the day, it's not a matter of them being treated like everyone else. They don't have the strength for one to be treated like everybody else. They're not going to have the life that everybody else has, the life to live. Now, I can mention a couple of people's names on here right now that, you know, I'm pretty sure they had very special needs growing up, but they've went on to
Sure.
live very productive lives. And, you know, to this day, they are still special needs, but,
Sure.
you know, those are the ones I would say, hey, they want to be treated like everyone else. These kids, you know what? They just want to live while they can.
Yeah,
have
and-
that
and again-
special moment.
And I'm not saying that you don't give them the special moment. That's not what I'm saying. But let's not pretend that they're going to be treated like everybody else. Let's not pretend that the goal here is to make them feel like everybody else, so that everybody else has the same opportunities, because they won't. Own it for what it is, which is
Well, that's
these
what they're
kids are
doing.
going to
They're
be.
owning it for what it is.
Well, no, I just
I
it
don't-
pisses-
Kevin,
it annoys me when the parents
Your
say,
kid,
"Yeah,
it ends up being terminally ill, God forbid.
yeah."
There's one wish. If you could make one wish come true, we
I-
all have that. If I could make one
Sure,
wish,
I would gladly do it, but I
like
wouldn't do it-
any other kid,
Yeah.
for my kids, even not being terminally ill, if I had the chance to make one wish come true.
Sure.
And that's the way you have to look at it. You get to make that one wish come true. No, they're not like everybody else's kids, and yeah, we try and treat them and do whatever, but it's the whole premise is making that one wish come true.
Well,
Yeah, and I'm totally cool with the one wish coming true. I just don't like the umbrella of we're going to do this so that this kid feels like a normal kid. No normal kid gets this. No normal kid takes the field with his favorite football team. No normal kid walks down the aisle with his favorite
But I don't
wrestler.
think that's how they
Well,
look.
no, I
Nobody
don't
goes
think
on the
that-
field on a Sounders game.
I don't think any
But
of
that's
these
how
kids
they-
are really
that's-
looking at it like that.
I don't
though.
think
I don't
that's
think
how they
even
promote it,
I don't
though.
think even the
Sarah
parents
was
are
going to
looking at
chime
it
in
like
on
this.
that.
But there are opportunities for kids without these disadvantages. I don't want to say
yeah.
disabilities, but
Yeah,
terminal
disadvantages.
illnesses.
Sure.
Yeah.
To go practice with the Sounders or practice with the Mariners.
Yeah, they're called Special Olympics.
No, there are other opportunities.
Sorry.
There
There
are
is.
programs
I couldn't
where these
resist.
kids
Camps
can go
and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
camps and stuff. So, but when parents say I want my kids to be treated like a normal kid, it may not even be referring to the one special wish. It's don't treat them like they are going to die. Don't treat them with kid gloves. Treat them like a normal kid.
Sure.
Because you find yourself when you hear someone has a terminal illness, especially a kid, you start like going overboard.
Kid gloving them and
Going
keep that to your
overboard
mouth.
and not mentioning it, and trying to tiptoe around it, and trying not to have them think about their illness when that's probably the majority of what they think about.
I think we do a disservice. I'm going to piss a lot of people off when I say this, and I don't mean to, but I've never been one for politically correct.
Oh, here it goes.
I think we do a disservice when we take people that are disabled, mentally disabled, physically disabled, and we tell them you're going to be treated like everybody else, or you should expect to be treated like everyone else, or the rules should all be the same, because they won't be, they never will be. And I'm not saying that they should be, but I'm saying we set this wrong expectation with people in that situation, because then they expect it, you know.
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay,
on that.
well, you guys can disagree.
I do,
That's
because
fine. I just think we set improper expectations with these kids. I think we have to set the expectation that you're not going to be treated the same. There's going to be things you cannot do. There's going to be people are not. Teach them from the beginning. You're not going to be accepted. There are people that are going to look at you and laugh.
Right,
It
well-
sucks. It's shitty. It should never happen.
Right,
But it will.
But here's the thing about trying to teach them that majority of their life, because of they are special needs, they're living inside a hospital where they can't get out anyway.
Exactly.
So they're around people that they're for the greater part of their life, they're around people that are just like them. They're not going to live. They're not going to live long enough to be out in the world and out in society.
And there's a difference between children with terminal illnesses and people with disabilities, with physical or mental disabilities.
Sure.
And if you've ever been
Yeah,
around
just ask Wes.
people with physical or mental disabilities, they're the ones requesting to be treated like anyone else. They're the ones demanding to have the same opportunities when they're aware of the difference.
Right.
So
No, I don't think that's possible though.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's possible to say you are. I mean, you're not terminal, okay? You're
Down syndrome.
Down syndrome, okay? You are not the same, and it sucks, and I hate to be the guy to put it that way, but you're not the same. You will not have the same opportunities. You will not be treated the same. You will not be given the same privileges. You will not have the same of anything. You're going to be treated better in some ways, I guess, because you'll get better parking, and that'll be it. And otherwise, people are going to make fun of you, and they're going to tease you, and they're going to laugh at you, and it's shitty, and it should never ever happen. But I would rather raise people with an expectation of how the world really is, instead of this la-la land where, well, you are just like everybody else and you deserve to be treated just like everybody else, and you're the same. You're not the same.
How about you raise your children to care about other people and not make fun
Exactly.
of them? I mean, that's the whole point. is,
Exactly.
yes, there's
Yeah, but not everybody
douchebags in the
does that,
world.
though.
Did you ever watch the program Mind of Mencia with Carlos Mencia?
Carlos Mencia?
Yeah, he used to have this gentleman on there who, you know, I mean, and now I'm going to use the politically incorrect term that they deem, I don't know, a little offensive, but this is what he used to say. It's like, I'm mentally retarded. I mean, and he would say that. He'd come on there and he'd say, I'm mentally retarded. But Carlos Mencia used to have a saying that, you know, my friend here is mentally retarded, but at least he's not a dee-dee-dee-dee, because he felt that when you say dee-dee-dee-dee, you know, you are above and beyond something that was mentally retarded. And this kid used to come on there and say, you know what, I may be mentally retarded, but at least I'm not a dee-dee-dee-dee. So he got treated like everyone else. He got treated as an equal. He was on a comedy show, Carlos Mencia's second right hand man. He was a secondary host. You know what? He got treated like a human, and he used to joke about it. Mm-hmm. These kids that's going through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, you know, I said they're not afforded the same opportunity. They're in a whole different world. The only thing they want, you know what their real wish is? To live.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not coming down on the kids, and I'm not saying we shouldn't do it. I'm just saying let's own it for what it is, which is they are special. They are going to be treated differently. They should be treated differently. They should have that. But this idea that everybody is the same, no, everybody's not the same. You're just not.
Well, and I think in the
not.
grand scheme of reality, Kevin, I think everybody pretty much agrees with that scenario, that not everybody is going to treat you, you know, how you should be treated when you are of you know, a disabled nature, or you know, you have something wrong, or you know, whatever it may be, whatever the case may be. You know, we have to hope as people we look at it better, and we treat people better regardless of what their disabilities are, their differences are. You know, and the other thing is too, because you do have those kids that ask, you know, Mom, why am I different? Why am I different? well, you're not any different. And that's just trying, I think in some aspects, it's a way of a parent trying to give their child some sort of hope in a somewhat dismal circumstance. I hope that sounds right. Because my uncle, who died at the age of 38 of Marfan syndrome, was blinded in a car accident at the age of 17. Marfan syndrome is a connective tissue disorder, and what you die from is the eventual rupture of the heart. The aortic valve is what he passed from. Now I'm facing that with my own child at the moment. There's a recent story about a basketball player, diagnosed with the same thing.
It's the same thing my mom passed away from, unfortunately.
It's for a long time it went undiagnosed and stuff like that. So with Richard, my point being is that we didn't treat him different. I mean, when he got the chance, my aunt would take him out and let him drive around parking lots when they were empty in her Mustang 5.0, because he was blind, he couldn't see. He didn't walk with a cane. You would have never known. Actually, you would have never known he was blind. Unless somebody told you, you'd have never known it.
Never
he was
guessed.
blind as bad. No, because he never walked with a cane. He, walked by touch, and he'd walk with you by touching your elbow like this, and that's how he'd walk with you. You tell him, hey, this is located at 3, 6, and 9. You wouldn't know this guy was blind. He fended for himself every day. He didn't like being treated like he was any different than anybody else. And we tried not to. We knew there was a hope, but he actually lived a lot longer than he was supposed to. But my grandparents, from the time he was little, at some point in time, my grandmother even said, we tried to do everything we could to give him some kind of hope.
Yeah.
In a sense.
All right.
Have you ever seen Christopher Titus?
Yes.
The
I love Chris Titus.
the comedian.
The comedian.
Yeah, actually, his name's come up like 3 times in the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
So-
he's
With
got a
me,
game show now, that's why.
He pitched an idea for a TV show. They actually shot a pilot, but the network shot it down because it was too uncomfortable. And the TV show was called Special Unit. And the premise of the show is he plays this detective who's just cynical and just like the typical bad cop who gets assigned to a new unit because a bunch of disabled people sued under the American Disabilities Act for being discriminated against for police officers. So he gets someone who has cerebral palsy, some guy in a wheelchair, and a couple midgets, and they get assigned as cops, and they're supposed to be
That's
an
outstanding.
investigative unit for like the LAPD. And so they shot the pilot, and it was really funny, but the network refused it because it was too uncomfortable. So then
You take it to TNT, they'll pick it up instantly.
a couple years later, he
TBS.
started a Kickstarter campaign to raise the money and film it, because the actors that are playing the disabled people are actually disabled comedians. They're
Right.
they have these disabilities, and they have less opportunities in Hollywood because of their disabilities. So they wanted to do this because it was really funny.
Like the one kid that played Corky, he literally played every single Down syndrome role in Hollywood. It was
yeah.
it was his role. If you had Down syndrome, they were getting the kid that played Corky.
Well, they have the girl that's Down syndrome on Glee.
Yeah.
Played the same role forever. And then were you, I don't know how old you are, but my age, Facts of Life.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so do
take
you
the good, you
remember
take the bad,
there's
you
the
take
one
the
girl
That's
that
deaf?
I want to say I think her name was Carol on the show, but she had real problems. She talked like this, but she was on the show and featured quite regularly.
No, I'll tell you that the Michael J. Fox show, when it was on last year, was tremendously funny. I thought it was a very well done show.
was.
But I think people are uncomfortable watching it. Watching him with Parkinson's.
Be self-deprecating with Parkinson's.
But I just think I think people get uncomfortable with that. It's not because it wasn't a funny show. It was a really well written show. If you were able to get past the fact that you're watching somebody struggle through Parkinson's, and I just don't think people could equate comedy and ha 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 and oh my God, he's got Parkinson's. I don't think people could do that.
Yeah, and I was so happy to see that he was back on network television.
Yeah, I was too.
Because I loved all of his shows, and I loved.
Yeah, it was kind of
watching
short
them.
lived, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Made a season.
Short lived, yeah.
Yeah.
Made a season. All right, really quickly, let's change gears really quick, because I did have one thing I wanted to bring up, and really I want Strip to be a part of this conversation as well, because I believe it is far more likely that Strip has done this than the rest of us has. Have you guys heard about the new movie coming out with Cameron Diaz and what's his name from? How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah.
Sex tape. What's the guy's name from How I Met Your Mother? What's his name? Siegel? Jason Siegel?
Jason Segel. My daughter
So-
went to see that tonight as I was on my way
So
here.
they're doing a movie called Sex Tape. And the basic premise is the couple's really bored in the bedroom. They decide they do a sex tape, and then accidentally the sex tape gets released to
Yeah.
friends, family members, whatever.
Did that ever happen to you, Don?
All the time.
So here's my question.
You should
I'm gonna-
charge for that shit.
I'm gonna
Right?
start. I'm gonna start with Strip. Strip. Would you
I'd buy
ever
that for
consider?
$1.
Would you ever consider making a sex tape?
500.
Can I plead the fifth?
No, you cannot plead the fifth. This is
that
not
means
court.
he already made
means he
one.
did
Done
it.
That works in court. This is in court. Answer the
Do you
question.
have a copy of it?
Uh,
Not that I want to
Have
see
you
it.
already made one?
would I consider?
Yes, he has.
Have you already made a sex tape?
Sure, I would consider it.
Have you made one in the past?
He has made a sex tape, ladies and gentlemen.
Have you made one in the past?
Boom, chicka, wow.
No, really. This is important to the conversation. Strip. Help me out here.
I'm a little preoccupied.
He's a
over
little
here.
Have you-
uncomfortable at the moment.
Hold on. Have you made one in the past?
He was fingering something earlier. I'm not sure what he was doing.
He was shooting one upstairs while we were down here.
No comment.
No, come on. Help me out here.
No, you cannot no comment this.
So I'm assuming that it was not with the girl that you're with now.
Just a quick yes no. Have you made one?
Is
Yes.
that
You
safe
know,
to assume?
Yes no.
Yes, no.
I'm just curious how that goes down. Because if it wasn't with the girl you're with now, what happened to the tape? Does the ex have it, or do you have it?
You
Or-
never let the ex have it.
Or did it get destroyed? But he is somebody else's ex. So if you never let the ex has it, who has it? Because she's not going to let her ex have it, and he's not going to let his. You know what I mean?
I would destroy
So
it.
what happened to
Yeah.
it? What happened to the tape?
I never said there was a tape.
There was a tape. Come on.
You're
What happened to
being
the tape?
evasive,
It's
dude.
digital.
Hypothetical situation. Let's
Digital.
pretend like you did do one. What happened to it? Where is it?
It was beta.
Be kind. Rewind.
Theoretically, if there was one, it would be hidden under layers and layers in my Gmail account.
It was digital.
Oh, it's all digital. So
It
no
would
hard
be hidden.
copy
It would be hidden.
in your Gmail account. Would your current girlfriend know? Would you let her know that it existed?
No, I don't.
would be a
I
no.
don't have one.
I know, but
Stop-
I'm saying if you had made
You're
one
asking
before,
me- no, you-
if you had made one before with an ex, and then you guys break up, and then later you get with a girl. Let's say you get all serious, you're talking about marriage, you have a baby together, you're living together with her mom and her brother. Would you tell her? Would you tell her that you had such a tape, or would you let
Are
it
you
go?
stupid?
You
I'm
look
asking. I'm asking.
So uncomfortable, like you have a yeast infection that you can't.
Yeah, I named it
Would you
K-Dog.
tell her?
Are you stupid?
I'm just asking.
Are you?
So you wouldn't tell her, okay.
This is why your relationships never work out.
That's true. That's true. Tro,
And that's not why they don't work out.
Shoot.
Because they're
Would
would you
actually
have
all
you
on
ever
tape.
have you ever done a sex tape?
He's black, of course.
Dude,
I have never heard that stereotype before.
what?
I know, right?
What story is that?
No, she said stereotype.
Oh.
You
She
don't
said
listen to the fourth hour
Oh.
regularly. We stereotype everything.
It's not. Have I made one? I'm just waiting on my
He's never
kickbacks
in
to
it.
come back from West Coast Productions out in California.
So you made a sex tape.
I've got probably 6 or 7 of them out there running
And
around.
sold them?
2 of them on my cell phone right here.
Okay, so are any of them
And you
with the
honestly
woman you're
think
not
I'm
with
joking?
now?
I am not joking.
Are any of them with the woman you're not with now?
Yeah, out of the 6 of the 7, 6 of them are with different women.
And what happened to them? Where are they?
I have them.
So they
I may
don't.
be crazy, but I ain't stupid.
So they don't have them.
Not one single.
You still
copy.
have possession
Actually,
of them.
I don't have the other 6 anymore. I did get rid of them.
You got rid of them.
Yeah, I burnt them.
You,
I
you burned them.
Oh, yeah.
What were they on? VHS tape?
Yeah.
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 Wait a minute.
They were
Dawn?
They were actual tapes.
Dawn?
Now, if anybody like to see the new one,
Put your phone away.
I'm just saying.
Put your phone away. I wanted to see something big, black, and scary. All right, Dawn.
I would
Have you ever made
say that I have made one. I know that there's been some,
Some
Hold-
accidental recordings.
Glue yourself to your seat over there. Some, little action from behind on the phone. Private clips.
Okay, that's
So
a
not
sex tape.
Consensual.
Well,
You were having sex with him and he videotaped
it,
it,
was
right?
Consensual. I mean, here, honey.
So you were having sex with
Hold
him.
this and get it from that angle, would you?
So you were having sex with him and he videotaped it. So you made a sex tape.
Well,
Who has
yeah,
it?
I mean,
She made a sex recording.
it
not
was,
has
necessarily
it was like
sex
a
tape.
sex JPEG.
It wasn't necessarily a sex tape. It was just a
It was
recording.
just like a couple of seconds. It wasn't.
Did
very-
did you was it on your phone or his?
it was on my phone.
It's
Now
still-
I'm guilty of sending
Of distributing
Are you-
pornography.
are you-
You sent it to him.
dirty
Dirty videos.
dirty little vids.
So you've done dirty little vids and sent it to him.
Do a little vid.
Yeah.
I've got
And
to
so
get
he
my
has them.
Oh,
I-
not anymore. Those phones are long gone.
I was about
Are you
to say,
sure?
I've got
Yeah.
to get my hands on
Oh,
your
I
phone.
know, because he breaks them when your phone flies out of a FedEx
Hey,
van.
hold on. That's not completely
It's definitely
true.
broken. Oh no, it's broken.
No.
No, the
That doesn't-
videos, if
You can get it back.
Yeah, you can
if
get
they
them
were
back.
digitally sent,
Here's a couple things.
can be
Couple fun
recovered.
facts a lot of people don't realize.
Apparently, there's some video out there of me somewhere.
If,
That's what he's trying to
I got
tell
it.
me.
The
I got
NSA
it.
If
has
it's saved
it.
to the SIM card, the SIM card doesn't get destroyed, or not the SIM card, but the
the
extra-
memory card.
Yeah, your memory card. Or if you're on iPhone or on Google,
It's in
or
the
on
cloud.
Android, it's not in the cloud, but my mom
Oh,
said
it's
that
in the
some term.
cloud.
No, that's a very
goes with the
broad
OneDrive.
term that you don't want to go down.
Apparently, there's some porn out there. Thank God my face
But-
is not in it.
if it's on his phone and his phone breaks and he has the backup services set up,
Oh yeah.
he's still got it.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
But your face isn't in any of them.
Oh, no.
Would you ever do one? Would you ever consider doing a sex tape? Your boyfriend now,
If I
or
had
whatever
a
he is.
smoking hot body, I might.
No, as you are right now.
No.
You wouldn't do a sex tape now?
No.
No? Okay.
No. I mean, there's a time that I might have thought about it, but no.
No? All right, Sarah?
No.
Six
No.
shots
Attorney at law?
Fireball.
I've never done one.
Yeah.
And hell no, I'll never.
You
do
never
one.
would.
No.
Not
no
in the
video,
slightest.
No pictures.
No?
Nothing. That because I want to be a judge someday, and I am not leaving that to chance.
Hey,
Sidebar, Your Honor.
So, what about before?
Tell me you're not going to rule in my favor.
So, what about before you started doing the law stuff? I mean, come on, we was all kids once. Not even then. No pictures, no nothing at all.
Not of me, no.
Oh, jeez. We got to get
All right.
together. We
Fair
gotta
enough.
Sarah
change
Whitney,
that.
badass attorney at law.
There are some things that we've got to change in this life. We got to
So
change that.
I
Especially if you're planning on being
Kevin?
a lawyer.
I was hoping that Paul
Have
would be
you
here.
I didn't know
done
it was
a
like
sex
that,
tape?
I was hoping that Paul would be here so we could ask him, because then Tro would be like, "Well, where can I get the video of Harmony fucking?"
I would have been like, where can we get the video of Harmony?
That's-
No, I'm just
no,
kidding.
Tro is
I
all
just
over
like to
Harm on
make
this
Paul
show.
nervous.
I wasn't all well. Look, the
You'd
way
be
I
all
met,
over
look, the
Harm.
way I met Harmony was down in. I've told this story once or twice. Michelle Nelson was a friend of mine that I knew Michelle a couple of years before I even met Harm, and we started shooting pool, and we was down at McLeod's of all places. The very first
You
time,
don't say.
the very first time
You meet
I
all
met
the hot white women there.
the very first time I met Harm. Now let's just face it, I'm an ass man. I love women with big old booties. And lo and behold, Michelle turns to me and say, "Oh my God, if you like my booty, you gotta meet my friend Harmony." And Harmony walked up wearing these jeans, and Harmony even tell you, look, she's a woman who very, very rarely gets embarrassed. I was down on my knees behind her, praising her booty like, oh my fucking God, where the hell did you get this thing? Will put black women to shame. I did the same thing to her. So
All right.
it's
I've
just
never done
the way
one.
I am.
To answer your question, I've never done one. The
So,
last
would-
girl I was
would
in.
you?
Well, the last girl I was in a relationship wanted to. And I don't know if I want to see my fat ass on camera, man. I don't know if you could pay me enough. And I don't care about it circulating around out there, because anybody who wants to watch porn with me in it, more power to you. You're a sick fucker.
You don't really like porn, though. You don't really like porn, do porn.
Yeah, I just, yeah.
So you were going to ask earlier, so I'm just going to come right out and ask then. Do you manscape?
Oh, see,
Evan?
we're going to hold the Manscaped
No, I wanna
conversation
ask.
next
I
week.
wanna know. Do you
Can we
manscape?
hang it? Can we hand it until next week because
What
we've
the
only
hell
got
is
5 minutes
Manscaped?
left, and we've got to do the most offensive segment in radio before
Hold
we
on.
break.
No.
You still haven't answered the question.
What question? Would I do it?
No. Where do you know me from?
Oh, I have no
yeah.
idea
Oh,
where
yeah,
I know you
no.
from.
We
I
wanna
don't know. I don't know.
We worked together in the 90s.
In the 90s. Hold on.
Did he have a
Was it
Seagulls
a
haircut?
bar?
Nope, no bar.
Did I have a mullet?
No.
No. Was it a bingo hall?
Nope.
Crap. Was it a taxi place?
Nope.
Was he wearing an "I'm with
crap.
stupid" T-shirt?
No.
Just kidding.
What type of business was it?
It-
Was it a restaurant?
You didn't work there for very long.
I didn't work there.
You got
for long.
You
Oh,
just
God.
mentioned a
Sorry.
whole shit ton of.
Was it the pool hall?
No.
No.
It's in West Bremerton.
West Bremerton.
There's a whole lot of businesses
There's
over
a
there.
whole lot of
Not a lot of
businesses
I
over
know,
there.
there's a lot of sketchy business over there.
Yeah, a lot.
Was it a
I'm just
hotel?
kidding.
It was.
We worked at the hotel together.
Yes, we did.
Did we really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What hotel?
Wow.
The Chieftain.
The Chieftain.
God, y'all worked at the Chieftain and you've never had
I
a
worked
video
at-
done?
You're a
The
drug
Chieftain.
dealer.
I worked at the Chieftain. I
You
worked
were
at the
a
Chieftain.
drug dealer.
No,
You
I
were
worked at the
a
Chieftain when it was
pimp and a
bad.
drug
Oh, you
When it
worked
was
okay.
bad.
Oh my
time
God.
that it wasn't. There was a time that it wasn't.
Oh Jesus.
So you
Yeah.
were a pimp and a
was
drug
bad.
dealer.
I was
weren't you?
neither a pimp nor a drug dealer.
Okay.
We were just
All right, hold on. Let's.
Hold on that because I do have a question for Susan. I mean, and it's a serious question.
Hurry up.
Look, it's
Sarah?
about
Ready for Sarah?
Oh, sorry, I don't know. Susan.
Sorry, he's
Sorry.
gonna go home and call
Sarah?
somebody Susan later.
No, Sarah, maybe.
Or
Sarah.
have them call
Sarah.
Sarah. A president who was just. What do you think about this? And I need some input here because you know what. Albeit for me, I'm not the money hungry, money grubbing type of person. However, a lawsuit was just settled against the tobacco company for $23.6 billion for a woman whose husband died at the age of 36 in 1996. He started smoking when he was 13, and he died at the age of 36. All right, now, does that set a precedent for what one can? Because I'm going to be realistic. Look, my dad died 8 years ago from black lung, and he smoked for a greater part of like 50 years before they start putting those warnings on the labels and all this stuff. And I remember when they had the ads of how smoking was healthy and made you look cool and that. And this was around the time my dad was smoking. So does this set a precedent? If so, how do I move forward? Because quite frankly, I'd like to get my piece of that pie.
All right.
I'm just
it
saying.
does not really set a precedent because what's going to happen is that the Big Tobacco is going to appeal the
Of
the
course,
verdict.
23.6 billion. That's
hard.
hard. I don't care. You know.
It's going to get cut down because the
Right.
that was a single lawsuit.
Right.
The class action lawsuit, I don't think was that much, or maybe it was like 600 billion. Most of that was attorney's fees, but the class action lawsuit.
That was a
people
class
in the
action
class-
lawsuit that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, like
Okay.
like
Where
2
do I
years
sign
ago?
up?
Hey, really quickly. Hey, Sarah.
find someone that will sue the tobacco companies.
Hey, Sarah.
So you're saying you won't?
Check Strip's Gmail.
For that type of money, I'm all over it.
No, I don't have.
just
I don't have the
mean.
capital to do that because those are contingency fee basis.
Of course.
Because the attorneys that get their attorney's fees from the awards, so
All right.
they get 30%
Okay.
of that.
That's all I need to know. I'm doing some research. Look, I can't bring my dad back, but hey, I might as well. Hey, look. If a person can make millions of dollars for spilling hot coffee on themselves out of McDonald's, or somebody can sue McDonald's and get
She
millions.
did not get that much money. She got $100,000, which barely
That's
covered
still
her medical
right.
bills.
But even still, to sue a company because you spilled coffee on yourself, it says hot coffee.
Okay, that.
All right. I got to interrupt you guys. You guys are getting out of hand with this. We had to do the most offensive segment in radio because it's
I'm just
tradition.
saying, you know,
Remember, the most offensive.
$23.6 billion is enough to get me excited.
The most offensive segment in radio is brought to you in part by Mindy's Felching School for Boys.
God bless you, Dad. Rest in peace. But $23.6 billion, I got a heart on over here, all right?
Bindi Myers Felching School for Boys and
Only
Bindi
for
Myers
boys?
Felching School for Girls. All right. So it's the most offensive segment in radio. Are you familiar with this segment, Sarah? Has anybody briefed you on this?
No.
Oh,
This is
God.
where we attempt to find the sickest, most disgusting jokes online and share them as we can. Now, I really think in the 5 years we've been doing this segment, I've found
quick.
most of them. Yeah.
should we just do a quick rap and then you tell the joke?
Yeah, do a rap.
You in a hurry to get out of here?
Wait, it's 10:59.
Well, yeah, we don't have to end the show on time.
Yeah, we do.
For my birthday, can we go 5 minutes over?
No,
5 minutes just for my birthday.
man.
Wow,
We're
did
gonna
he?
end up going 5 minutes over, but I'm saying if we do a rap and then you can end the show with
Okay, let's do the rap then really quick. While we do the rap,
See?
then I'll find the joke. So, Strip, do you have anything to say?
no,
Then why the fuck did you want to rap?
because it gives everybody a chance.
you're like, I want to have a rap. Okay, Strip, what do you got to say? Nothing.
because it gives everybody a chance to say what they gotta say before you say your joke, and we end with the joke, and you can say your goodnight, bitches. See?
Sarah, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up the show?
Just that if you have any more questions, you can give me a call at 253-310-5968. If you need help with a divorce or a criminal case, please call me. And before anyone asks me, I do not work pro bono anymore.
Don't blame you. Don't blame you. Don't blame
But
you on
I
that
work
one.
Are
on
you
payment
pro
plans.
bono?
I am.
Damn.
I do payment plans and reoccurring billing and low down payment. So if you just want a consultation, just give me a call and we can discuss your case. 253-310-5968.
All right, Tro, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
I would just like to say, no, I actually don't have much else to say. So I'll talk to you later on, Sarah. We got some things to discuss. We got some things to discuss.
If you got the money, I got the time.
All right, Dawn, anything you want to say?
I don't make as much as lawyers, but I am in sales.
All right, Dawn, do you have anything you want to say?
No, I'm really happy Sarah joined us tonight. It was a lot of fun having her here. It was a great show.
Yeah, and you
Lot
made
of
it through the
fun.
entire show.
I did make it through the
You
entire.
weren't sure
I'm ready
earlier
to
today.
fall over though.
No,
I'm
that's just how I like
exhausted.
'em.
It's been a
Just how I like 'em.
long Damn week.
I am going to hold you to the promise to take me to Sounders.
Hell yeah, I'll totally take you to a Sounders game.
All right, so I got a couple jokes since we have just a few more minutes left in the show. I'll give you some of the offensive jokes that I came across. while I'm just
Cowboys
kinda-
will beat Seahawks.
Yeah, that's a pretty offensive joke.
That's not even a joke.
Yeah.
It's
Like a
not
dream.
funny at all.
Dream.
What do fags call their balls? Mud flaps.
Seahawks.
What's the best thing about fucking homeless girls? When you're done, you can drop them off anywhere. I like this one. Why is the Black Power sign a
'cause it's
clenched
true.
fist? Why is the Black Power sign a clenched fist? So they don't fall off a fucking tree.
Wow! Didn't see that one coming.
Wow.
That was
Awesome.
I don't usually get hit with a curveball. I didn't see that one coming.
He thought he had told all the black.
Oh
best black jokes.
no! That one didn't see that one coming. That was pretty damn funny right there.
What do you call 4 Mexicans in quicksand? Cuatro Cinco.
Oh God!
I've heard that one. It still gets me every time.
Oh, you wasn't here for the baby jokes he told. Never mind. Anyway.
Oh, we could get into baby jokes, but I don't have time. So leave that alone.
No.
What do 3 million abused women have in common? They don't fucking listen.
I didn't do it right the first time.
One more, make it a good one.
You gotta find a real good one, man. Gotta find a good one.
Why do Jewish women prefer sex from behind? They can't stand to see somebody having a good time.
Heard that one.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta end it with a good one.
What's the useless skin around a vagina
Yeah, that's
called?
a woman. We know that
That's
one.
a woman.
Next.
All right. How do you kill a redneck? Wait till he fucks his sister and cut the brakes on his house. Can we end it with that?
we can end with that.
End it with that one?
That was a good one.
All right, that'll wrap up tonight's show. Join us again next week as we'll do something. I don't know.
We always gonna do something.
Maybe Paul will be in studio again next week. It's really hard to tell, but Don will be here, right?
Yeah,
You'll
I'll
be
be
here next
here.
week. I'll be here. Sarah, you're invited back anytime. It's been fun, even though you were mean to me the entire fucking time.
Not the entire time, just most of the time.
Just bits and pieces.
And you liked
Just
it.
bits and pieces.
Of course he does.
He
Of course
kept
he does.
asking for more.
Oh yeah.
All right. Hey, remember, tonight's show is brought to you in part by Bindi Myers Felching School for Girls. Sign up now and get a free 20-pack of straws at Bindi Myers Felching School for Girls. Also, remember, nothing beats felching in the back seat of a Nissan. On behalf
Half off tuition
Unless it's
right
a
now.
Volkswagen.
of half off, can't felch in the back seat of a Volkswagen. You see how small those are?
God damn.
That was a Fiat.
What does a redneck say
It's
after
a
sex?
Ford Fiat.
What does a redneck say after sex? Thanks, Mom. All right. I still think the worst joke I ever told was, how did it go? In the middle of oral sex, I swore to God I tasted horse semen, and I thought to myself, Grandma, that's how you died. All right.
Oh, God.
Good night, bitches.
Oh.